On taxes, taxes are going up. Let me repeat that. Taxes are going up. And they're going up on a lot more people than people making $250,000 or more, despite what some say, if you want to be fiscally responsible. Now, let me tell you why. A very simple but powerful word: math. The numbers don't come close to working. All right? Now, here's the truth. The truth is, the longer we wait to renegotiate the social contract, the longer we wait to reimpose tough budget controls, the longer we wait to do those kinds of things, the higher taxes are going to go. Why? 3 reasons. First, math. Second reason, because of compounding. Second reason, demographics. More people will be enfranchised in the current social insurance programs, and you'll have less ability to make changes. And thirdly, political activism. Not all segments of society are equally politically active. Young people whose future is being mortgaged are not as politically active, and therefore they're taken advantage of. And they'll continue to be taken advantage of unless and until they get active and wake up and get active. So what's going to happen on taxes? My view is we're headed to a streamlined, simplified, broader-based, flatter but not flat income tax, eliminate or cut back and target a lot of tax preferences, including some of the sacred cows, like, for example, on home mortgage interest deduction, maybe linking it to the maximum conforming loan in the geographic area. In the cases of health care, maybe allow for exclusion for that basic and essential coverage, but anything more than that is going to be included in income as part of your compensation. That's what it is. It is part of your compensation, all right? Because we want to keep rates as low as possible, but you want to broaden the base so that you can also make sure that people are making decisions based on sound economics, not tax policy, so that it's more understandable, so that it's more enforceable. From a payroll tax, I've already talked about that. Raise the taxable wage pay cap, but not the rate. Don't eliminate the cap. And I think we're headed for a progressive consumption tax, probably a value-added tax that will be on top of what we have now and that will be earmarked to health care. That's probably where we're headed. Because while you can solve Social Security technically without more revenues, and you can do a lot of other things without more revenues, there's no way you're going to solve the health care problem without revenues, even for that basic and essential level of coverage. You're not going to solve it. That's actually affordable and sustainable. What we have now is not, but it's going to require more revenues than 18.3% of GDP. But understand this, if we don't do anything, then young babies who are born today, by the time they get into the prime of their working life, will pay double federal taxes than today. Double. And by the way, state and local is going up too. Let me tell you why. Medicaid, unfunded retiree health care, underfunded pension plans, deferred maintenance on critical infrastructure and other critical infrastructure needs, and education funding. And some states are in better shape than others. California is a basket case. It is a leading indicator and not a positive leading indicator. California has a balanced budget amendment, but you know what their balanced budget amendment is? The governor just has to propose a budget. They don't have to pass a balanced budget. He just got to propose one, so it's dead on arrival because it's draconian. All right? But in addition to doing that, we're going to have to re-engineer the base of government. Believe it or not, the federal government has never had a strategic plan. Never. Believe it or not, the federal government does not have key outcome-based indicators, economic, safety, security, social, environmental, to understand which tax policies, which spending programs, which regulatory actions are working, which ones don't. Believe it or not, the federal government doesn't automatically review programs and policies that are mandatory spending or tax preferences. They just grow. And that's one of the reasons that we are where we are. And to achieve a lot of these things, You're not going to be able to do it the regular old-fashioned way, which is the normal legislative process route, because it's broken. We're probably going to need special type of commissions, but not the typical commission. Commissions that will go outside the Beltway, engage a representative group of Americans in different parts of the country, tell them the truth, help them understand we've got to make tough choices. There's no free lunch. Help get their input on what some of their preferences are on the trade-offs, but in the end, make a package of proposals to achieve these things that would be guaranteed a vote in Congress. Guaranteed a vote as a package. And the ability to amend would be limited so that you can't dilute the bottom line impact. So you can make changes, but you can't gut the bottom line, because that's where the guts don't exist. People don't have the guts to say no, and they don't have the guts to make tough choices. And they're still telling the American people that there's something like a free lunch. Yes, we can have more and not have to pay for it now, but later we will.